Hi guys, just decided to go live for kicks and giggles. How's everyone's day? I've been doing pretty. I lost you. There you go. I lost you. I don't want to. My little ring thing doesn't want to hold my phone up. That didn't give me this trouble. Maybe I just didn't have it up there good enough. There we go. I was asked to do an inventory of my craft room, and it's something I really need to do. So this week, that is my goal, to at least get 2 days worth, because I know it's going to take more than that. Someone saw my video from the portfolio and said, wow, can you do an inventory of all that? And really, I need to, because I know I got more than I got my gym flow. So I really, really, really need to. And everything that's in all them boxes up there, I have not got a clue what they are. Now, some of them I won't be able to show because I know they're probably stolen images, because it was from back before I even knew about stolen images. So those I'm kind of leery about putting up because I don't want to get a copyright strike. But I have thought about, because I got clips of We Got the Pool Gone. Pool is gone. So I got my son out there with a oh, what do you call those things? Not jigsaw, rotosaw, but the one that you just kind of go, and he's literally out there with the swimming pool and cutting it in little bitty pieces, and then they drug it over to the burn pile. We still have a pile that needs to go to the scrapyard of all the metal from the pool, and then some that needs to go to the burn pile, but it was too wet from all the rain we've had to get a truck up here to put it in the back of it. So it's in two piles. And so once it dries out, we'll get it over there. But it's gone. So we can start working on making a fire pit. Because when I asked the grandkids what they wanted, the pool, but it'd be a lot smaller, or a fire pit, and they all wanted a fire pit. So I was like, yay, no pool work. Because let me tell you, pool work sucks. Drink some of my coffee. My cup says dog mom. And thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Jenny. I got your email saying that Bad Day at the Office has been at least shipped. It's probably going to sit in transit forever. I mean, I just know that because of the way shipping is right now. But at least they've finished it, and it's in the next leg of its journey. And then once he comes in, I want to buy some glow in the dark jellies for little skeletons that are climbing all over, around her and the chair. So I got to kind of find out what color those skeletons are so I can figure out what color of jellies to get glow in the dark. I'm thinking that it's something called moon glow, or it's kind of like a pale greenish glow, but that's what it looked like. And then the ones I got from NYX as a sample from DP the Sparklers are going to work awesome as little ice cubes that I'm going to put in a little glass. I'm going to make a little something to go on her chair, because back when I worked, I did that. Our weather is crappy. It started raining last night, and it's raining right now. But I have got up, and I'm doing good today. I got up and I've already vacuumed. Yesterday I did dishes and cleaned up my dresser top and dusted it and got my room dusted and cleaned up. So getting stuff straightened up, I guess it's spring cleaning kind of thing. And I figured I better do it while I got it because I don't always have it. Some cases I just read the diamond paint, that little saying that floats around, you know. Yeah, I'd rather paint than clean any day. But I did get my living room dusted. I got my bedroom dusted, and living on a dirt road, it definitely kind of needed it. And I don't know who's in here, but welcome, welcome. It's nice to have you. I got up my day, what is it, day 5 of my 7-day upload. And it's a post review of a budget friendly, one of the vases with the pink roses. And it actually went pretty good. Oh, they left. My God, I scared them off. But it actually went pretty good. It was very easy to do. Drills were pretty decent. I'm probably actually going to keep them. So that is a good thing. I've actually, my daughter-in-law said that one of her friends has a friend that wants to know if I'll sell some of mine. And I told her I would sell some of my budget-friendly ones, but not my Diamond Art Club or my Dreamer designs. So probably after I work on this for a little, maybe this evening after Rose and Jenny's live, I'll go in there and sit down for about an hour and do a video in there, and probably maybe go through my Diamond Art Club and probably just my Diamond Art Club because that's going to take a while. And do my Diamond Art Club, and then maybe another day do my Dreamer design and shimmer stitch and craftably, and then just kind of do it that way. Because otherwise, I'm gonna have to throw them all and pile on the floor and pull them out of the boxes just to find out what they are, so I can put it in writing on them. And I know I got one under my mattress because it was really big, and the company actually sent it to me folded over like this and then folded over like this, so it was in a little square. When I contacted them, they said, oh no, and it is a poured glue. They said it's not meant to, it's meant to tolerate that. So they said put it under something heavy. So I put it under my mattress, and one of these days I'll pull it out and do it, but I'll have to find the stupid drills for it because I keep my drills with my diamond paintings just for that reason, because I got a couple of them that got separated and I don't know where they're at. Yes, they're in that stinking room, but I don't have a clue where. Let me see. Oh, and for people who love cottages, Uniquely Yours Down Under just launched a guy. What's his name? Something Orsini, and he does cottages, and it's beautiful, like old English cottages with cobbled paths and a little swan on the lake. Very pretty. The first one I'm definitely going to get. Down in my description box, I do have Linktree, and in that Linktree is my discount link and code for Uniquely Yours. And if you would like, you can go to my Uniquely Yours link, use the code, and you'll get 10% off of your picture or your order. And I will get a little commission. I'm not even sure how much, but I put it back into an account. When I have enough, I'll purchase a picture for the site. I did purchase Josephine Wall new release on Sezzle. It'll be here in about 4 to 6 weeks, and I'll definitely show everybody. An unboxing on that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I got Rainbow Bright up on the wall. My daughter-in-law helped me do that. And let me see what else. Oh, and they cleaned off my back porch and kind of made it nice and pretty. And he got my lawnmower running, which I don't know, it's better than the lawnmower people, because my poor dad would take it in the shop, spend a fortune, and then lo and behold, you get it back. It runs for about 30 minutes, shuts off, and we couldn't get it running again. And he sat out there and he's tinkered with it for the last 3 times that he has been here and finally got it running. So that's good. I don't know. He's one of them people that you can take something, throw it on the ground in front of him, bust it all to pieces, and he can put it back together. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I'm in the Giddy Up Along right now, and then in May I'm joining the Phoenix and Fantasy, which is Nix's Notions event, and the Giddy Up Along is JT and J Crafts, which is Jeremy. So I'm in both of those, which are going to be very fun. Maybe I'll post a link down in the description for the 2 of them if I can find the links for them. But I know they're on Facebook. And then like Jeremy's, you just go to Instagram or Facebook and do a hashtag Giddy Up Along JT and J Crafts 2022, and that one will take your picture to him. And I'm not sure how they're going to do it with Phoenix and Fantasy. I don't know if you're going to have to do like a weekly post or monthly, just the beginning and end or whatever. I just know I have paintings that will work for all of them, so that's when I do them. Because at least I feel like I'm painting along with, drilling along with someone. My daughter used to with me, but now her kids keep her so busy. She was like, I don't have time. She's got Java Girl about 1/4 done up under her bed. I think she's got, the bridge. We're pretty bridge scene. We'll color the Anna. No, I can't even think what her name is. Anna something. But it's the real colorful one that has all the confetti. And she's got that under her bed. But she's not sure if she wants to actually do it because it was one of, I guess, their version 2s, which still had a lot of blurry images on the bottom of the canvas. And so she's like, well, I don't know. They sent me a PDF, but it's hard working that way. But that's kind of like working with the tablet on my Haid, which I need to do a whip on that and work on it for about 3 hours for y'all. For the people who watch the whip playlist or the Haid playlist. I do have playlists down in my actual channel to where you can go in there and find just a bunch that relate to each other. For anyone that has a vehicle that has really bad headlights, like you can't see out of them at all. That's how mine was. At night, I would have to drive around with my brights on because they were just that bad. And the video I did the other day, it's real short. It's only like 2.5, 3 minutes. It's called Cerakote. It's Kercote, and you get it on Amazon. It's only like, I think it's like $17. And I really thought I was going to have to buy whole new lenses for my headlights because that's how bad they were. I mean, it was so yellow and encrusted that you couldn't even tell there was headlights under there. And I went ahead and bought that just in case, and it actually worked. And it was very easy. I don't have a bunch of upper body strength. I've always had more lower body strength. And so trying to do the sanding, I couldn't get it really good. And I don't have a sander. But it still did like night and day. Somehow or another, I got a diamond that fell down my shirt and was trying to get my britches and hurt. It almost looks like it's nighttime outside. That's how bad the weather is. And believe me, it's not nighttime, but it looks it. Oh, it's 4. I was wondering. Because usually I get a few people that pop in my lives, but I really haven't had very many. I've had like 1, I think 2 was the max. I didn't realize it was this time. I need to pick a time and just show up every day at that time. I just haven't figured out which is the best time to do. And I know Derek does Monday nights, and he's talking about quitting them. And if he does, then I might pop into that slot at 9 o'clock at night, because that's when I'm more awake. I'm not a daytime person. I never have been. Most of my life, I worked nights. Very seldom have I worked days. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians. No. Oh, and today at, I don't even know what time it'd be for everyone. For me, it's 6 o'clock unless they've gone back an hour. But for me, it's 6 o'clock. But their Uniquely Yours is dropping their next artist tonight, and they're live. So they're doing an artist today for 10 days. This is day 2. And artist 1 was gorgeous. And they say the best is for last. So I don't know, guys. Might want to pop in there and see what they got going on. Might want to check it out. Might want to check it out. And plus, they're always fun to hang out with. Always fun. Yeah, this is probably a bad time because I bet you on the East Coast it's like 5:30, so they're probably eating dinner. And on the West Coast, it's about I think they're an hour behind, so it's 3:30. So they're probably just starting to get out of work. So this is probably not the best time. Not a good time. So yeah, I may not do another one at this time, because this doesn't seem like the best. Because I've had one pop in, and it's probably not someone that actually knows me, and they'll hang out for a few seconds, and then they'll pop back out, and then they'll pop back in, and then they'll pop back out. And I would go on and tell Nix that I'm on live, but it's kind of hard when you do it on your phone and you're on your phone, so it's kind of hard to go, hey, Nix, I'm going live. Guess next time I'll sit there and before I actually start, I'll send her a something and say, hey, I'm going live. And then at least she can hang out. And when I went through Hobby Lobby the other day, they don't have anything new. So anyone who's been in Hobby Lobby in the last, I would say 6 months, they're all the same. My Hobby Lobby didn't have any Diamond Art Club pins. I mean, yeah, they had the Diamond Dots drills, but they didn't have any of the Diamond Art pins like some of them do. So it was kind of a A lost cause. Losty cause. My dogs are rebelling because I'm changing their food. Because I was getting them Purina One, but they've dropped down to like 35-pound bags, and the price went way up. So it was like, yeah, I can get you some other food for 45 pounds for, you know, about $10, $15 less a bag. So it was like, yeah, we'll do that. So we're getting them a new one. That picture that I put at the end of my portfolio video was taken when I got home on Saturday after being gone overnight. And they literally, I mean, it was like they must have ran themselves silly because they all three came in and stayed pretty close to each other and just crashed. I mean, they were crashed. And another goal for this week is I am going to clean my pantry out. I'm going to like clean out some stuff in there that I know I'm not ever going to touch. And it's from when I did keto, and it's like those little keto cupcake things. They're not real good. And so I'll probably chunk them because they're taking up a lot of space. And I'll go in there and put all the canned goods and, line them up. And that way I know what I got. Because I don't even know what's in there. And I got some stuff that was in the freezer from the other night when it did its little hiccup that thawed all the way out that I'm going to chunk. But I want to do it tomorrow because the mailman comes Wednesday, and I don't want to put it out there and have some raccoon or something like that come out there and attack it, because they will. And according to my son, my dogs went and cornered a weircat, whatever the heck that is, and I guess killed it and have it drugged up over by the woods. He told him to leave it in the woods. Don't need it in the yard all the way. Because that way maybe the coyote come snatch it. Maybe they come got it last night. Because, a lot of times the coyotes come up and get stuff like that. Because we have a lot of coyotes around here. You can hear them at night. I loved whenever one walked up to the tree out in the front yard, hiked its leg, peed on the tree where my dog laid, and then looked at the camera and walked off. I was just like, yes, that's funny. Because it did. It just walked right up to his tree, peed on it, and then kind of looked over at the front door and then walked off. And I was like, that was kind of like, see, I'm peeing on your tree. I've called and checked on my aunt. The one, she's like 70, she'll be 78 next month. And she still works at a Tyson factory. And so I checked on her and talked to her for a bit because she's the one I stayed with all the time because I paid her room and board to stay there instead of staying at a hotel when I was in Cath Lab and had to stay there all the time. So I come checked on her. I told her, I said, well, if you're tired, you can just come out here, stay with me, and we'll just be the two old crazy ladies on the hill. Because for some reason, she thought she could get long-term disability if she hurt herself at work and her retirement, because she gets full-time retirement. And I was like, no, don't work that way. I said, and I can guarantee you make more from your retirement than you do from your work. And she's like, yeah, you're right. And I was like, yeah. Ooh, it's pouring down rain. I could hear it in the house. My food for the day was burritos. I made me a couple of burritos. And for some reason, my watch was saying it was almost 5 o'clock. So I was like, oh no, Jenny and Rose are fixing to go on. I need to make me something to eat. Hurry up and eat. So I made me a couple burritos. I ate the burritos and I looked up at my wall and it was saying it was 12. And I was like, what? And I looked at my watch again and it would say, you know, 5:50 or whatever it was. And so finally I was like, this is crazy. So I changed my TV over where I was, like starting out from scratch on the main page and it was saying 12. So I was like, man, so I had to go in and update. Hi, Stacy. I don't know how you edit, girl. I would love to be able to do some of the stuff you do. My granddaughter, the 10-year-old, yeah, I'm good. My 10-year-old granddaughter, she can sit down and do a live where she can pull the pictures in and out and all that stuff. And when I ask her how she did it, she says, I don't know. And I'm going to start trying now that I've got to where I can at least stick an intro, even though I do it with an app, and then the out and do in the middle. But at least I'm doing better than I thought I would. So, it's just a matter of I'm going to have to sit down and actually start trying to pull it in and add, but I'm afraid to add music because I don't want to get hit by a copyright. And so it's like, okay, I'm going to go in and go on my computer because I think it has where you can get to my phone app doesn't, but I think the computer does where you can get to the available music for editing in YouTube. But I'm like, I live out in the country and I'm relegated on how much data I get. Okay, that's why I can't get. I mean, it was like, what? And see, I paid. It wasn't that much, but it was when I got Kind Master, and I mean, I can use it, but I don't know how to use it. So it's like, So it's just a matter of I'm going to have to sit down and actually make myself do it. But I can sit down and do my phone and do videos or clips and piece them all together and then just throw an intro and then in the end. But I've thought about starting a Patreon. I might try that. Oh, I haven't done that. I haven't done it on the Windows because I do everything on my phone. And I've been trying to get my stuff from my phone to load up on my computer, and it keeps kicking it out saying having a difficulty. And I didn't even use the computer until I started doing this. And 3 months of using my computer, and it's gone nuts. The two programs I use, which is Intro Maker and Thumbnail Maker, I found from YouTube research. And actually, the Thumbnail Maker is pretty good because as long as you have a picture, you can make you a thumbnail. And I've learned how to like change the colors and rotate it and flip it and do some other stuff. And then on the intros, I found somewhere I can do countdowns and change it up. And I've learned how to put my headings and pictures and all that in there. So I've got a little further because when the first time I tried, it took 3 hours to make a 10-minute video. It was crazy. It was horrid. But I've gotten better. And I think what I'll do when I do one of mine, I might just do it live. I'll just pull all my Diamond Art Club down around me, sit on the floor, have it where it's live and I can see the screen. That way I'm not having to type anything and just kind of pull everything up, show it, and then I can stack them back up and just do that. You're welcome. I actually like that. I got to go back in and find my videos or my intros so I can find that countdown one. because that was pretty cool. And if I can get them into my computer, then I can use them as a thumbnail because I can go in later and put the thumbnails in. And that's like what I've done for that 7-day upload challenge is I've gone back in and changed the title up. That was a lot of craziness too, trying to figure that out. Oh, what time is it? When you sit there and thought it was like 5 o'clock, 4 hours ago, it makes the day go seem really long. And I know that sounds crazy that I thought it was that late, but I really did. I don't know why. I'm looking for a color. Oh, I almost prefer when I use my other one. Yeah, I love those cottages and the way you set it up yesterday. That was so gorgeous. That was so pretty. I usually have them on in the background. You're welcome. I just had a feeling I needed to go live. And plus, it was kind of no fun being by yourself and it's raining. So I thought I'm going to go talk to people, even if there's nobody there. At least you feel like you're talking to someone. And then that way, maybe people can find me. I think I'm at 88 now. So I'm getting there. I just want to break the 100 mark because it seems like the higher I get, the more YouTube pushes me out as a um, YouTube push. They even sent me recommendations to watch my own YouTubes. I thought that was funny. That was one, and I'm really not, I'm real shy. But when I worked in the cath lab, I had to keep my patients entertained while they were on the procedure table. So I would always just tell them stories about what was going on in my life, which is kind of what I do with this. So, you know, I just kept them entertained. I think the funniest one was someone was having to get almost like waxed. And so I was telling them about my waxing experience. And oh my God, that was so funny. Because my boss was like, I can't believe you told that. And I'm like, what? I mean, it's not bad. How do you do that though? How do you tag it as news? I forgot to go over to Instagram and say I was putting up a live, but oh yeah, I watched that, and I think I thought, I mean, I watched the waxing one, but her son with her was even funnier. But oh my God, if you're gonna do it, oh okay. Um, yeah, see, I was at the stream yard. But I just now found out that YouTube will actually let me go live now. I don't have 1,000 people now, but or 500 or whatever it was. But for some reason, I went in one day and it let me. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And I don't know if it's because I pay for the premium as a way to help everybody, because you're supposed to get a little bit of it instead of doing people's Patreons, because I really can't afford that. But I got tired of there was one commercial that I got to where I just could not do no more. And it was the black guy, the African American guy, whatever you want to say. And he was, it's a rap song. Oh, okay. It's 50 for, that's why it's letting me go live. Okay, yay. But it was he was calling his, it's like MF this and in that, and it was so so offending to me. I actually paid for premium just so I wouldn't have to watch that commercial, because it was like every 5 minutes I was getting that commercial, and it was like I just can't. I can't. I can't. So I guess that's one way to get people to pay for premium, is just put up really derogatory, nasty things. 100 to name your channel. Maybe that's why it won't let me change my tag right now. Because I changed my name, but it let me change my name, but it's not changing my tag. So it's like, what the heck? Oh, it was so bad. I mean, it was just like, I can't. And it was like about every other commercial was that guy. And I was just like, oh, I can't. I just started paying for premium. I don't know. When I grew up, that was one thing you didn't say, it was just, and so it was really offending. And so I was just like, yeah, no. It was like, oh. And I watch more, because even when I'm not watching lives, I watch the free movies on YouTube. Of course, I don't think I'll ever fly in a plane again after the ones I've watched this week. Because it made me, evidently, I'm a control freak. I never liked flying anyway, but I guess I'm a control freak, because when you watch those, you realize just how much you're out of control, because, you know, you're depending on someone else knowing their job and doing their job correctly, or not having a bad day, because one of them, because it's called Mayday, and it's a series, and it goes into these big crazy wrecks and what caused it. And it was like one of them was just the pilot was in dead up to his eyeballs, and they were fixing to call him on it when he landed, and he knew it. And so he just crashed the plane, took everybody with him. And I was just like, you don't know who's flying your plane or what kind of day they've had. And I used to say that when I worked in the lab, and they would work, like, they actually worked me one time 36 out of 38 hours. And I was like, how can you think this is safe? The one, because the team I was on, we worked 36 out of 38 hours. And I was like, how do you think this is safe? I said, this is not safe. It's like, when you've been up this long, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, one of the doctors found out that me, another girl, it's a 3-man team, and it was me, another nurse, and scrub tech had been there for 36 out of 38. And he was so upset about it. He went and hired a masseuse to come in and give everybody neck massages, and told them that us three, and they would know us when they got to us, needed to have a 30-minute neck massage. And she was like, "You're one of the three, aren't you?" And I was like, "Yes." I said, "How'd you know?" And she goes, "Your shoulders and your neck are just, they're like ramrods." And I said, "Yeah, I know." That was the doc. I don't know if you were in Nexus. I don't know if you go to Nexus Lives, but the other night they were singing The Witch Doctor, and I literally would pull that song up and play it for that doctor I worked with. No, that was before the corona outbreak, but I worked for this Hindu doctor that's from India, and we would be scheduled at 7:30. His cases would be scheduled for 8, but he wouldn't show up till 10. So right then we're 2 hours behind. But then he would order or he would schedule, 5, 6, 7 cases, but it would take him up to 3 hours to do one case. So if he's scheduling 6 and it takes him 3 hours, you're talking 18 hours just for him. And he's not starting till 10, and we're there till he's done. There was days I'd come on at 7:30, and there was one day we came on at 7:30. We got out of there at 5:30 in the morning and had to come back at 7:30 and do another round of that stuff because we had a boss that wouldn't say no to him. She just wouldn't say no. He could say go for. Told her to go catch cow pee from her cows in a bucket and bring it to him, and that woman did it. I would have said, there's the corral, there's my cows, you go get your own. Because there's no way I would have got up under a cow and gathered pee for the man. No way. I mean, crazy. And so when she got demoted and this other guy came in, he finally at least had some brains. And he was like, if he can only schedule so many, and he can schedule till he'll be done at 8:30, and that's it. That's the cutoff, unless it's an emergent. If someone comes in with a heart attack, he said that's one thing, but him just adding stuff willy-nilly because he likes to work all night. I actually asked him how he made kids. I literally asked him, I said, wait a minute, because he said, I'm going to go home and give my wife a kiss. I'll be back. This is 11 o'clock at night. And I said, I have a question for you. And he said, what? I said, how did you make kids? You're never home long enough. And he just looked at me and he said, that's because I'm quick. And I was just like, I don't know if I told that. I was just like, don't know if I told that. But he would rather work all night. I mean, all night. It was nothing for him. And then, of course, he would want all of his closures held, which is another hour. So you're looking at the two nurses not getting out of there till an hour to an hour and a half after he's done with his case. So, yeah, it was, that was rough. That was rough. And like I told my dad, I said, if I hadn't got hurt to where I had to quit work, I said, with what's going on with this case with that nurse, I said, I would have quit because I worked for a man. I think it's that culture. They have no concept of time, no concept of time. It's their culture. It is a culture thing. But when I worked with them, and it's hard to understand their accents, and he would yell, and I would literally clarify. I mean, I clarified in bed 3 times with him, gave it, and then he's like, that's not what I said. And I'm like, that is exactly what you said. So more than likely, she was, and when you work in that area or in radiology, it's not, because, they kept pulling up, it's got that machine, and they have to have the order, and it has to do this, and comes out, and it only opens for that patient. When you're working in critical areas like that, it's not like that. Because if you're working in the cath lab and someone's crashing and you need something right now, you just type in their name, you open the drawer, and you give it. So, now that they're actually going after nurses and putting them in the pins for giving the wrong thing or giving the wrong amount, it's because these crazy doctors will sit there and yell out the wrong thing or yell out the wrong amount. And when you clarify it, they said, that's what I said, give it. So I know where she's coming from. And I can guarantee you, she's not probably the one that did it, but she's being the one hung out for dry for it. And so I was like, I would have left anyway. I said I would have gone and worked at Walmart. It was just, but it's crazy. I mean, even now, even though our boss was putting a hold on it, and us as a team could say nothing after 8:30, you would get, and then it was, well, if someone doesn't want to do it after 8:30, but if you're okay with it, you can. So they started pushing the limit again to where they were getting out of there at 12 and 1. So it's crazy hours. It was nothing to pull 115, 120 hours in 2 weeks. It is very scary. It was very scary. It was, yeah. And then when they mess up, they blame it on the nurses. I've seen that more than once. There's things that I'll never let them do to me. And then after what they did to me, there's more things that I won't let them do to me. I mean, to where when I went to the new doctor, like, if I order that, will you do it? And I was like, maybe. He said, you were a nurse for too long. I said, yes, I was. I was losing my empathy. I'm just now getting it back. I had, I mean, it was like you could fall on the floor, and that's how come the people in the hospitals, unless they're brand new baby nurses that haven't been there, are that way because they have just beat them up. And I mean, just now they're letting the nurses charge the patients and the family members for assaulting them. I mean, because I was reading in one of my posts where she'd gotten assaulted by a patient and she was pressing charges because they could, you'd be like, because I mean, they'd punch you, and I mean, they're not out of their head. They're just, you're not getting what they want, so they punch you, they cuss you, they throw you up against the wall. I've had my shirt ripped off. I mean, you name it, had it done. And the administration's like, no, 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 no. Like one person was talking about how one guy went off and was attacking a nurse and had her up against the wall. So an orderly came in and broke it up, and they fired the orderly. And I mean, I know they do that. I've seen them do that. I mean, it's, hi, Diamond Queen. You lucky, 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 lucky person. Uh, yeah, it's stupid crazy. And I mean, I was a nurse for over 30 years. And in my whole nursing career, I never really cried because I was beyond stressed, except for the last 6 months I worked. But I was watching, and they got to where they didn't want me. I know. Yeah, you go, girl. But I mean, I got to where I would just kind of cry a little bit whenever and they wouldn't let me do charge because if they wanted me to do something stupid, like send all my help off the floor and just leave two people, and I would say no. So then they started putting the new nurses who'd only been out of school a month as the charge nurse. I would walk in the break room and find them curled up in fetal position on the floor, crying their eyes out. And I finally went and called my manager and said, you need to get over here and you need to deal with this, or you're going to end up having everyone leaving you because they're not going to stay if you're going to do this to them. I mean, I've never, and I don't care how bad it was. I mean, I've gone home so tired I couldn't see straight, and I've been scared, but never to where I went down in fetal position and just melted down. So it was just like, that's just really uncalled for. And it's not safe. And I never even really went off on a doctor except that one time when I was done with him yelling at me and the other older nurse just for the heck of it. And I just told him he no longer had the right. So it was just like, and it was really kind of funny because my boss had given me a lower score on my evaluation, and it was something about doing what's right. And he actually told me, he said, I didn't give you that score because you went off on Dr. B. He said, if you'd done that before I did this evaluation, I would have gave you a higher score. He said, I was giving you a lower score because you were letting them walk all over you. But I was brought up and when you didn't. Oh, I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Hey, Diamond Queen, you might know, is when I do my Chewy order, because I was wondering if Amazon had this where you can put on your order and tell them where to drop it. Because they keep leaving my orders down on the side of a dirt road at the end of my driveway. And it's like, can you not bring it up my porch step? I don't care if you stick it on the porch, but just leaving it on the side of a dirt road. at the end of my driveway is kind of crazy because I'm afraid someone's going to drive by and decide, hey, I want 90 pounds of dog food, or hey, that's a pretty big box, or that's a Diamond Art Club box, or that's a this box, and take off with it. Good. I'm going to go in and dig around in Chewy then and see if they have the same thing. Because my Chewy, the FedEx guy left 92 big bags with 90 pounds of dog food between the two of them sitting down on the end of my driveway. And I called my dad and I said, can you just check and make sure? Because I wasn't going to be home till the next day. And I was like, can you just make sure that they didn't leave it down at the end of the driveway? If they did, can you just go throw it on the porch? I was just like, that's so stupid. But that's not as bad as the one before. The one before, because I have a green trash bucket, the big trash waste management can that it says packages. That's for little packages, people. Bigger than the mailbox, but not huge. I was doing that to be nice. No, they stuck two 40-pound bags of dog food boxes down in that box on top of each other. I never got them out. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna check that, and I'm gonna start doing it on my Amazon too, because I'm getting tired of leaving stuff down at the end of the road. It's because I got that one creepy guy that was breaking in my dad's house in the middle of the night, which that was crazy. My dad woke up to some guy standing over, going, "Can you go kill the snake?" I was like, "What? What?" Then he says, "Yeah, but there's no snakes. It's wintertime," and so he thought the guy left. And then he heard something in the kitchen, so he goes in there and he says, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Well, I'm gonna make me some coffee and get me something to eat." I was just like, "Dad, you need to do something about that." Because my brother lives in the little room outside, so he was leaving the door unlocked so that he could get in to go to the bathroom. And I was like, "Yeah, you need to do something about that." Because, yeah, I just got where I leave my dogs out at night to run around, and I figure that'll scare them off every now and then because they don't know when I'm going to leave them out and when I'm not. Because I was just like, that's crazy. I know one night he came up to my house at 11:30 at night and was saying something. I couldn't hear him, so I cracked the door, and my dog busted through the door. I mean, yeah, the kid's crazy. But my dog was ready to eat his head, the big one, the big one. He was just reared up on his back paws and had slapped his paws on either side of that guy's head, and he was ready. He was going to eat him. I don't know what vibe he was getting off of him. That's kind of what my brother said, Diamond Queen. My brother went down to that kid's house and he called law and he said, "You need to get out here." But he went down there and he told him, he said, "Little Reuben, if you come back in my house and you're not invited," he said, "I will shoot you." He said, "I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to play. I will shoot you." And he's known for being crazy. So it's he said, I will shoot you. And then the cops came out. He told them, he said, "I know the law. And I know he said, tell them to stay out. Tell them not to come in the house without, in the middle of the night." It was 3 a.m. I was just like, what? I mean, it's just creepy. So, my dad told me that, and I was just I was flipping out. That's it. And my brother carries his gun everywhere. He's never without it. So, yeah, he would shoot him. I think he goes to the bathroom and pees with it. Me, I have one. And it's not that I'm scared. Not if you're breaking in my house, I have no qualms against shooting you. I just got to figure out where I put the dang thing. Because when I had the kids a lot, I put it up so they wouldn't get to it. I figure out where I put it. I could probably ask one of them, and they would tell me. Tell you. Nope, they didn't arrest him. They just told him that he couldn't. He was not to come down here anymore and just come in the house because if he did, he was going to get shot. I was just like, oh God. It's like, oh God. That's just like, get this. You guys have seen the two little boys running around, right? And I have a ladder that my ex, when we first moved out here, we could not get any kind of cell phone signal, none. So he got a marine receiver, like you could be out on a boat and it would just go around and receive signals. And he put this ladder up in a tree, and it's all tied to the tree, so it's not like you can take it down. I couldn't move it if I wanted to because this ladder is about 60 feet tall. I mean, it's way up there. And then he shimmied his butt further up the tree to the very top and then had a pole and then stuck that little receiver thing to the pole up in the top of the tree. And then he had one little wire that came down and came to a box in here, and we could make cell phone calls in this one room. Thank God for the tower now. But it was so funny because yesterday when my son was out here taking the pool down, his 6-year-old, 7-year-old, his is 7, okay, he's 7. And he was about a fourth of the way up that ladder. And his mom came out, he was all freaking, and he said, oh, the other day, he said, Asher was right there, and Aiden was all the way at the top. And I was just like, Lord, I don't want to know that. It's just like, I do want to. But I was like, I want to know that this kid was 60 feet up in the air. It's like, oh my God. So next time those two are up here, which would be, I think, April 22nd when I get them, when I tell them, you cannot go up on the ladder. Just like you couldn't go in the pool when Nana went outside, you can't go on ladder. Now there's no pool, it's just sand. But it was just like, oh my Lord, y'all crazy little children. Crazy little children. Just like the other day, they were down at the creek. That's where they got all them rocks from, was down at the creek. And I said to them, I told them, I said, can y'all swim really good to be out at the big creek? And they went, no. And I said, good, then stay out of this creek because this creek goes to that creek. So my son and his friend was infinite wisdom, because I have a little trail, and my ex-husband had actually built a little swimming hole for the kids. It's about, I guess he let his kids swim in it the other day because he knew how deep it was. And it's about maybe 3 feet deep. And he made it to where it's almost like a little dammed up area where it'll hold about that much water, and then it'll go away. And so my son took his son down there and showed him where that was. And he says, we can still swim. We can go down there. It's like, oh, you had to show him that. Because now he knows what that little trail goes down to, because we used to go down there and feed the little fishies that were in that little hole. So I have little dammed up pond down there with fishies in it. And then I got the deer that was a female up on the hill. And then the weircats on the side over there. And the bears are over on the other side. It's like, oh God. Like I got a zoo out there. And then it was so funny, because I got the little playground out there that has one of those climbing gyms. And my grandson was like, I want a monkey bars. And I said, well, go climb on that. And he says, oh no, that's not monkey bars. And I said, you can still climb on it. It's like, And I also noticed since I changed my picture, StreamYard didn't have my picture up there. But at least it did change my name down at the bottom. It's like changing your name is a pain in the butt. Just so y'all know that. It's a pain. But Love and Sparkles is easier to say than all the pig over. Oh, well, it's like an hour before Rose and them go live. And I know Stacy's working on doing the videos, which I thought was awesome. I'm going to have to try to figure out how to do that. And maybe I'll get in YouTube Studio on my computer and see what I can do in there, since it has the approved YouTube music that you can use. And then maybe I can use that. But I will see y'all later. And I'm going to try to do more lives, maybe once or twice a week or so. And like I said, I'm gonna get. That's okay. You're welcome. And I can't wait to see today's. Um, and I'm gonna do a couple of videos. I don't know if I'll do them in live format or just video format. I'm trying to do an inventory in my craft room because yeah, I really do need to do it so I know what's what and where and kind of orient them to make it like flowers are here and landscapes are here and animals are here. And because right now I have to go in there and dig for an hour to figure out what I got unless it's one of the ones that's got a picture on the box, which is only, Diamond Art Club, 3D Design. I don't even think Shimmer Stitch has a picture on the box. Okay, Tijuana, I'll see you later. But I'm going to get off of here. Hit the like button on the way out. Just check for things. I have a couple of videos up today, and I will see you all later. Bye.